Coming up on 9 News Mornings, scammers are at it again, trying to get your information, this time posing as U.S. Customs and Border Patrol. In Denver's municipal election, a few thousand votes remain to be counted, but the numbers show two candidates have pulled ahead in the race for Denver's next mayor. And a 60-year friendship has been celebrated every year with a birthday card. We'll meet the women keeping the tradition alive. 9 News Mornings starts now. Oh, it's such a cute story. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone.
It's been a week.
It has been a week.
Yikes.
What?
We must hate our job.
No. We just had the election this week. We had the Rockies home opener this week. So there's been a lot going on.
You froze again this week?
I know. It was so cold out there.
How dare you, Ed?
I know.
Don't bring that up.
I feel so bad about that. Well, I'm going to make up for you.
Okay. Look at that.
All right?
Hey.
Yes. We're not only going to get into the 60s for the next 2 days, then the 2 days after that we'll be in the 70s. 2 days after that we're going to be in the 80s.
Yay!
Okay? All right. All right.
That's it.
Yes.
You're our friend again.
And that's the way it's going. We started off the week earlier in the 30s, 40s, 50s yesterday, now 60s. Yes, we're going to warm it up nicely just in time for your Easter weekend as we take a look at what we've got going on right now. 31 degrees, and that's a little bit above normal for this time of the year. And you see we have just a few clouds as the system brushes by. And what that's going to do is just kick off a couple of rain or snow showers at the higher elevations. Not a big deal. Doesn't last very long. But tomorrow, another system comes by, but far enough away that it's only going to bring some light snow for the high country and some clouds out here. But we will stay mild. So today, mostly sunny skies, warmer, 66 degrees after yesterday's 51. Then for tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, but still mild, 68 degrees. 60 would be normal for this time of year. Look at your Easter Sunday, 71 degrees with partly sunny skies. Monday, we're at 76 degrees. Now the next 2 days, I said in the 80s. How about 81 and 82? And then on Thursday, really not that bad, 77 degrees. We'll stay with partly sunny skies.
That's the kind of forecast we like to see, Ed. Thank you so much. We want to help you get out the door this Friday morning, dark and early. I-25 and I-70 is where we're looking from CDOT. No issues to report. Travel times on I-25 between downtown and the Denver Tech Center very quick at this hour. Northbound drive 15 minutes, 2 minutes faster eastbound. As we take a look at our map across the metro area, we're all clear, but it does look like on C-470 through Morrison, we're seeing just a little bit of a slowdown this morning. We'll have to see if that becomes maybe a crash that hasn't come into the map just yet, but I'll keep an eye on things there. Drive into Commerce City very quick, 11-minute ride in for you on westbound 76. No issues on I-70 between I-25 and 225. 7-minute travel time both directions there, and 225 in the green both ways.
Erica, thank you. Breaking news overnight. Violence in the Middle East is escalating with Israel launching airstrikes in southern Lebanon, bombing targets on the Gaza Strip early this morning. Gaza militants responded by firing a new barrage of rockets, setting off air raid sirens across southern Israel. The fighting comes at a sensitive time with Jewish people celebrating Passover and Muslims marking the Ramadan holy month.
And right now, Denver officers are investigating a hit and run. Police say this happened on West 47th Avenue and Federal Boulevard. Police say the person does have serious injuries. At this point, they haven't given us a description of the car involved. They are saying expect some delays in that area. We also want to bring you a developing story. Police say a Walmart employee in Loveland has died after someone ran him over, trapping him under a car. Police say that this happened yesterday afternoon in the store parking lot off of Highway 287. The worker was returning shopping carts when police say an 83-year-old woman ran into him. First responders found the man trapped under her car. He died in the parking lot. Police say the woman is cooperating with them and they don't think that she was impaired or speeding.
Scammers are targeting people across the country and right here in Colorado by posing as U.S. Customs and Border Protection employees in order to get your personal information. 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez joins us in studio. Brianna, you know all about this from firsthand experience.
I do. That's because twice in the past week I have received a call and the number came from a Colorado area code. The scammer asked for my name and said patrol agents have intercepted a shipment with my name and address in Mexico. And that's when they needed to get the case resolved immediately. So the scammer gave me an employee name, fake case number, and even a fake badge number. And they insisted I needed to give them more information. And when I refused, they said the police were on the way. If you get a call like this, here are a few things to keep in mind, because obviously this is a scam that has been going around. U.S. Customs and Border Protection will not call you out of the blue asking you for money. If the caller is asking you to pay a fee, share your social security number or credit card information, simply hang up. Don't trust the caller ID because scammers can make their phone numbers look real, even when they're not. And if you're unsure, never call them back. Instead, contact the agency name directly. So according to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website, they have received tons of calls from people who have received these type of calls. And if you get a scam call and would like to report it, you can do so through the Federal Trade Commission website. Corey?
Brianna, I mean, this happened to you. This has got to be such a scary thing because what they're demanding it's scary.
I mean, especially with the area code being 303, I answered it like normally, like I do with any call. So of course I was concerned at first, but then when I started noticing that they needed all this information, that's when all the red flags, of course, came up.
When they need that information, they need it urgently. It's always a bad sign. All right, Brianna, thank you.
There's still around 2,500 votes left to be counted in the race for Denver's mayor, but we are now narrowing it down to 2 candidates moving on to the runoff. Mike Johnston is still in first with about 42,000 votes. Kelly Brough is trailing him with 34,000, and progressive Lisa Calderon is about 3,200 votes short, enough for her to concede the race. The votes that have not been counted yet need to be corrected or cured by the voters. So one example is if you forgot to sign your ballot or a signature isn't matching records. They have until Thursday to fix the issue so that votes can be counted. Denver is going from a field of 16 candidates on Election Day now down to 2 people with pretty similar ideologies. They both want to hire more Denver police officers and enforce the camping ban targeted at people experiencing homelessness. Brough has said that people who violate the camping ban should be arrested. Johnston does not. They are both anti-rent control in Denver. Denver is poised to have a centrist for mayor now, but city council could shift further to the left. Candy Siribaca, the only Democratic socialist on council, will be heading to a runoff. Serena Gonzalez Gutierrez and Sarah Parody currently have the top 2 spots for the at-large council seats. They're both backed by progressive groups.
Lawmakers are in the middle of debating what to do with growth in construction in Colorado. They're considering a bill that would give the state more power to decide what housing goes where. About 300 people signed up to weigh in on the land use bill in the Senate committee. Almost 8 hours later, people are still testifying. If it's passed, the state's largest cities could not limit construction of housing like duplexes, and it would allow more housing to be built near transportation. Supporters say it would add more housing and hopefully help with affordability, but critics of the bill worry it would trounce existing local laws and zoning. The committee heard from several local leaders, both conservative and liberal mayors and city council members. Some are for it, some are against the measure. Those opposed worry more density could make things like transportation and parking harder.
Right now, a wildfire is still burning in Park and Teller counties this morning, but we have a little bit of positive news about the fight. Wednesday snow is helping to lower the complexity and the growth of the fire that sparked a week ago. So right now, firefighters have 60% containment, and officials say the wildfire has not grown in 2 days. It has burned just over 1,500 acres. There have been no injuries. It hasn't damaged any homes or buildings. Earlier this week, the sheriff's office said that this was human caused. It started in someone's backyard. But since the fire is still smoldering under the snow, firefighters have left pre-evacuation notices in place for neighborhoods near the fire.
For the last 3 years, Denver Water has been digging up these huge holes, replacing lead water pipes. In 2020, Denver Water believed there were somewhere between 64 and 84,000 lead service lines in the Denver area. Statewide, an EPA survey found 111,000 lead service lines in Colorado. Now researchers are looking at which areas and which groups of people are most impacted, starting with a review of public data on the topic.
When we looked at that, we also found that several areas of Colorado are more impacted by lead in the water. And those are areas that are primarily inhabited by communities of color and low-income communities.
Researchers hope their work can pinpoint the best places to start. Denver Water says they've replaced more than 15,000 lead service lines over the past 3 years.
A warmer and sunnier weather pattern is starting to settle in, which means Colorado's snowpack may have reached its peak level. But what a season it has been, right? One of the biggest in recorded history. Here's meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen.
The snowpack in the Colorado Rockies has been steadily building since the first week of October. And it may have reached its peak level of the season on Thursday because a warmer and sunnier weather pattern is expected to take over for the next couple of weeks. There is still about 3 feet of new snow in the forecast for parts of the mountains over the next 2 weeks, but that would not be enough to compensate for the melting. So if Thursday's average of 21.7 inches of snow water equivalent does end up being the peak of the season, it would be the 6th highest peak on record for the state of Colorado. Snowpack records started in 1987. Snow water equivalent is the amount of water contained in the snow. So it's like saying if you leveled out all the snow across the mountains and melted it, there would be a pool of water the size of the Rocky Mountains that's 21.7 inches deep. But the snowpack is not going to melt in one day, and it's not distributed evenly. The bulk of the snowpack is in the western part of the state. The San Juan, Animas, San Miguel, and Dolores headwaters is at its second highest level in history, while the Arkansas headwaters to the east are at its lowest levels in 6 years. But that 21.7-inch statewide average is impressive. Snowpack in Colorado has only been greater than 20 inches 7 times in the 37-year record. Meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen, 9 News.
The average date for snowpack to peak in our state is April 8th, so that's tomorrow. There have been instances where snowpack peaked later in the season, but it was pretty rare. Last time that happened was in 2013 when it peaked on April 24th.